I lie awake for a few seconds, listening to Laura's footsteps overhead and savouring the Christmas morning feeling. The thrill never lessens when the abstract numbers on the calendar finally take shape into days. I have known for years that on the 20th of March 2015, the moon will block the sun from view, making a black disk in the sky. Total eclipses of the sun have been dots on the timeline of my life since I first stood beneath the moon's shadow. Chile, 1991, was the eclipse of the last century. 7 minutes and 21 seconds of pure totality. I was 12 years old, and I knew that I would devote the rest of my life to recapturing the experience. Nothing compares to witnessing a total solar eclipse under a cloudless sky. Until I met Laura, it was the closest I came to understanding religion. The sheets on her side of the bed are cold. When she comes in, her belly entering the room a beat before she does, her cheeks are sunken from tiredness. Her hair is tied up, the roots showing, a millimetre of brown that looks black against the platinum lengths. She's wearing one of my old sweaters, pushed up to the elbows. She has never looked lovelier. I had worried, when we first started trying for a baby, whether I'd miss that ectomorph gawkiness I always loved. But there's a new pride at seeing Laura's body change, because there's something of me in there. Get back into bed, I say. It's not good for you to be leaping around. I'm awake now. I'll go back to bed when you've gone. In the shower, I run through today's itinerary one last time, the finer details in my grand plan. I'll catch the 5:26 from Turnpike Lane tube, then the 6:30 from King's Cross to Newcastle, where I will meet Richard at 9:42. From there, a chartered minibus will take us to Newcastle docks, and at a pleasingly round 11 o'clock, we will board the Princess Celeste, a 600-berth cruise ship that will take us across the North Sea, past Scotland, and halfway to Iceland, where the Faroe Islands lie. Most of Friday's eclipse will be over water, but even a calm sea is never still, and the best photography is done on land. I had to choose between the Faroes or Svalbard, north of the Arctic Circle. It was Laura who wanted me to go to the Faroes. The biggest crowds will be in Tórshavn, on Streymoy, the largest island, and she believes in safety in numbers. In 2 days' time, at 8:29 a.m., the moon will start to creep across the surface of the sun and slowly build to 2.5 minutes of total eclipse. I towel dry the beard Laura insisted I grow for the trip, then dress carefully in the clothes I laid out the night before. My work clothes, not a uniform, but they might as well be, hang neatly in the wardrobe, tugging at my conscience. Delighted as I am at the prospect of 5 days away from the optical lab, I can't help but feel guilty at taking annual leave to travel when I could have tacked it onto my paternity leave. Then I think about the chemicals I've been breathing in for so long that they line my lungs, and the stiff neck that's been craned over lenses all year, finally hinging upwards to look at the sky, and I think sod it. I've got the rest of my life to play the provident father. What's 5 days in the wider scheme of things? I put on a long-sleeved thermal vest, and then over that my lucky t-shirt, a souvenir from my first eclipse. It says Chile 91 on it. Countries always claim the eclipse as their own, even when the shadow falls over 3 continents, and is in the colours of the Chilean flag. A crude black circle in its centre represents the covered sun, surrounded by the flares of a corona. When my dad bought it from a roadside hawker, it was virtually a dress on me. Mac refused to wear his, but I wouldn't take mine off, even to wash it. It fits me now, but it won't in a few years unless I follow Mac's lead to the gym. There's a burn on the collar where Mac flicked a lit joint at me during an argument in Aruba in 1998.